Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Chapter 3 now of the Samurai Town Common Room. So, we were chatting with Tojo. We found out he's running a school. You can simmer down, bird. Komame doesn't have any lines right now, so you simmer down. You simmer. Don't you talk back when I'm talking to you. Don't you talk back when they're talking to you. And anyway, it was kind of a transition. The scene was going on a little. We went a little over last time, so. But still, I'm surprised you're running a temple school. Outside of your work with the Oniwaban, you also have your work as a samurai. Why did you do this? When I asked that, Tojo looked at the children on the veranda as if taking the time to think a little. Well, to put it simply, it was for myself. Huh? Nowadays, knowledge is more important than strength. To live a better future, we need to give children a proper education. But because of the Blightfall problems, kids in Edo can't really focus on their studies, right? And not to mention the domain schools keep taking breaks. So I wanted to help, even if it was just a little. Plus, if I do this, some of them might even become future Oniwaban members someday. Like Miyagi and Yabuta? Exactly. The temple school basically lets me keep an eye out for any prospective talent that might appear in the future. And if they do show up, then my job gets that much easier, right? And that's why this is for myself. As he said that, Tojo gazed into the distance as if he were looking into the future. Though he was saying it was for himself, it was hardly an easy process, much less something to pursue with such a simple motive. The way he explained things without showing that fact really spoke towards Tojo's personality. Tojo, you're pretty amazing. That must be why the children feel so attached to you. You think so? Yeah. When I agreed with all my might, Tojo tilted his head as if troubled. His gaze was directed toward Komame, who was neatly nestled in my arms. But Komame just doesn't seem to get attached to me. Hey, Komame! What do I have to do for you to like me? Cheep! Komame was taken off guard by Tojo's touch and hopped up. Oops, my bad. It looks like I surprised. Cheep! Oh, look, she's flying all over. Oh, no, she stopped. Okay. You can rewind back. She did. They had her flying all over our sprite. It was cute. Then Komame started to move rapidly around me with her usual lightning-fast speed. It seemed she was freaked out from Tojo's contact. Komame, it's okay. Calm down. He was created from a cat collar or some type of cat toy or something. That's why Bird's freaked out, right? He's made out of kitty cats. Maybe he's made out of cat fur. Somebody made a little doll out of cat fur, and then that was him. Yeah. Hey, don't buy my shirt. That's not nice. See the look on my bird's face? He's like, the fuck is that? Well, you won't do the lines. You read that? It says, you did chirp very loudly right there. Do people hear you? Do it again. He was popping his head like, the fuck are you doing? What's coming out of your mouth? His face is practically in my mouth right now. You need to sit down. She's extra. Oh, she's extra fast today. Did the two of you go through special training or something? Training? No, we didn't do anything. Really? Well, at least she seems healthy and happy. Seeing Komame in that state, Tojo looked delighted. From the way he treats Komame and the children, Tojo was probably someone who cared deeply for those who needed to be protected. Maybe he was a burglar alarm then. I felt a warm happiness from seeing this new side of Tojo, or a blanket. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're just like, you just need a blanket. Sometimes you just need a blanket on you to feel safe, you know? few days later, we finally saw some movement. Upon learning that we would have our first meeting in a while, the three of us headed to the hideout. Huh, it's really rowdy today. There's lots of people, too. Something seems off. It was common for it to be noisy. What was strange, however, was that not a single person was drinking. I'm wondering if, like, depending on who you have romance with, when you get to chapter 3, the samurai town thing, like, maybe you don't see... Well, no, actually, it would make sense. I was like, I wonder if you'll have a different scene with Tominari. But we had the scene where we were poking around looking for the Ronin with Tominari, and he gave us the candy and everything like that, and we had a sweet little moment. So, and we had that in chapter 2, so then chapter 3, it would make sense that we had, like, a little moment with Tojo. You know what I mean? Because I feel like chapter 2 and 3 are probably going to be basically the same. And the rest of the chapter, I'm assuming the plot, especially if we're dealing with this kid, is going to be basically the same, but it's going to work out differently, obviously, because we're with a different love interest, so. Everyone was talking excitedly to the people around them. This might have been the first time since we'd started coming here that we'd seen them so serious. Hey, what's going on today? What are y'all talking about? Oh, if it isn't Tojo and his friends! The truth is, something crazy's happened! Rejoice! Kaigyo has finally decided to attack Ito! What? It was a truly world-shaking moment. Also, here's the thing. So, like, if you claimed to be Yashimune's son, you're like, oh, hey, we're your kid. Like, there's no way to prove that. There's really no way. You know what I mean? Like, okay, except for the fact that he was a man whore and he was basically fucking everything that moved. You know what I mean? Like, sleeping with everybody. So chances are he's like, probably. But, like, even if you still, like, you're having relations, whatever, fine. You're fooling around. Unless it's a woman that you know you slept with, but you still don't know that she, just because, I mean, listen. Yes, historically men were whores and they were allowed to fuck everything that they wanted to and it was totes cool, but a woman was a slut if she even slept with one man outside of marriage, okay? But, like, let's be real. Okay, despite the stigmas, women were probably sneaking around, sleeping around too. Okay, it was just we get judged for it, and the men are like, high five, bro, whore, to the women who do it. You know what I mean? And that's still pertinent to this day and age, still. Okay? But, like, so, you're Yoshimune, right? You're banging chicks left and right. How do you know that the woman who you slept with, who now is like, this is your kid, didn't sleep with 7 other fucking dudes, and that's really you don't know. You're just like, actually, I did sleep with her, so you just have to, like, she could claim anybody's her baby daddy. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm sorry, all right? Like, on one hand, he's a man whore, he was fucking everything that moved, so hi, you gotta expect that you probably got a dozen kids out there, dude, right? But also, you're a woman, you're sleeping around, like, having some fun with dudes, and then you get pregnant, you're like, fuck. Who do you think? You're like, I don't know who the baby daddy is. The Shogun seems like a great dude to be like, well, wait, I did sleep with him, so I bet it's his. Hey, there you go. How you gonna, there's no blood tests. You don't have blood tests back in the day. You have her word for it. And, like, I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing, because she's gonna be like, no, I only slept with him, and people would probably believe it because, well, women weren't supposed to be sleeping with men who weren't their husbands, so whore slept with a man, but, like, well, of course she would only do it once. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, but you don't know. You just gotta be like, no, fuck, that's not my kid. When it might be your kid. Or you gotta be like, sure, when it's not your kid. Like, you don't really know. Like, it's very, I mean, and it's not like, well, he looks just like, okay, let's just be real here. This is not like, oh, well, Lord Yoshimune's got, like, red hair, and this kid's got red hair, so, okay. I'm pretty sure they probably look like most Japanese people with dark hair and eyes. So you couldn't even really go with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a little harder to tell. It's not like some blonde dudes walking around and you're like, there's 6 blonde kids floating around in this fucking Japanese village. So, like, yo, bro, yo, dude from England, obviously they're your kid. You know what I mean? Like, where it's a little more obvious. Like, you know? We're like, he looks like him. Does he, though? Do we know that? Are you just thinking because he said it? You don't know. And, like, how many times? Oh, we're siblings. Yeah, I see the resemblance. They might not be related. People who aren't related sometimes have similar feature. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying it's a very complicated fucking time period to be banging a bunch of chicks, you know, and then pop, but you never know who was going to pop out of the woodworks. Plus, Yoshimune was a whore, and he's like, I don't even know how many women I slept with. I don't know. So he couldn't even keep track of them. So a woman could come forward and be like, this is your kid. And he's like, I don't remember sleeping with you, but like, he's admitted that he was a whore, so he might not remember the ones. Makes it even worse. So a fuck ton of bitches could come out of the woodwork and say he's their baby daddy, and he'd be like, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember any of them, but like, whatevs. There were I lost count, and I don't remember half of them. Like, you know? So you don't know. You don't know. And this kid's mother might not have even said anything to him. She could have just like, whatever. You know, yeah, no, your dad, I don't know who your dad was. And he could have just heard stories of Yoshimune just being a whore and been like, well, obviously that's my dad. So you don't really know. We're never going to find out if he's real. And like, even if the game decides to tell you, like, yes, we're just accept him as our son. It's like, you don't know that for sure. So like, you know? Because I'm like, what are they expecting? A letter back from Yoshimune being like, okay, you're my kid. He's like, I don't fucking know. What ups? Like, he couldn't even keep track of the woman he slept with. You think he gives a fuck if he's got a kid? Oh, dear God, it's kind of funny. Oh, this game's ridiculous. Anyway, those words made everyone tense up, and at the same time, Tanichibo appeared from the back of the crowd. Yeah, alright, looks like everyone's here. Right, he's a bro dude. He's like, server dude. Tanichibo looked around at the crowd of Ronin and crossed his arms with a face full of joy. Wow. The way he stood was proud and open, a fitting pose for someone who stood above others. Well, as soon as they saw him, the rowdy Ronin all quieted down as one. I've gathered you all today for one reason, and one reason only. I want you to hear my determination. It's been 10 days since we made our request to the shogunate. I even sent a follow-up letter, but I still haven't received a reply. I mean, again, how is he getting a letter to you? One, but two, like, we don't know that you're really his kid. My demand was simple. Accept me as his legitimate son, and yet, still nothing. I mean, I could write a fucking letter and be like, acknowledge me as your legitimate daughter, and he'd be like, I don't think that, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. We don't know how many kids this man does or does not have. I'm assuming quite a few he does have, so probably, but seems like Dad's completely underestimating me. Tanichibo only muttered the last part. There was a quiet and uncharacteristic pressure to the way he spoke, and I couldn't help but feel startled. Anywho, I love it. There's no point in waiting anymore, so I decided to take the quicker option. Intimidation. I have my partner, and more than anything else, I have you guys as my dependable comrades. I'm assuming you're referring to me as your partner. So if we're gonna take a stand, now's our chance. Let's go and make the Edo shogunate great again. Together. You did not fucking do that. No, you didn't. Get out. How dare you? How dare you give us all nightmares with that? Make the Edo shogunate great again. Fuck you! You suck! I hate this kid now. What an asshole. Whoever in the translation team decided on that was a bag of dicks. How dare you? What the fuck? God damn. And of course, I can count on you guys to follow me, am I right? The Ronin immediately became fired up at the vigorous call. Everyone raised their fists in the air and started to praise Tanichibo. If this were to continue, then it was only a matter of time before everyone charged into the city of Edo. Oh, wait a second, I don't think you should do that. Huh? Why? The shogunate might still be conducting an investigation. They probably need to do a lot of research considering you're the shogun's son. If you were conceived during his time as the daimyo of Kishu, then they need to travel there as well. It would take around 20 days to get to Kishu from here. It's too early to draw a conclusion. Why not wait another month and see what happens? You say that, but you're just scared, aren't you?
Well, if you make a poor move right now, the shogunate will think you're hostile toward them. You should plan your moves more accordingly.
That's right. If you get caught because of that, then you'll be in big trouble. What would I do without you? Gag. You guys. As we all jumped in to convince him, Tanichibo became teary-eyed. Thanks, guys. I'm super stoked you care so much about me. We really don't, but... Of course, we're friends. Yeah, right, Tominari?
Yeah, sure, we're friends.
You're right. Friends really are the best. And then Tanichibo wiped away his tears like he was savoring the happiness he felt. You should be able to see his, threads and go oh no, he's full of shit and he's gonna kill us. However... But I can't wait anymore. Huh? I'm sick and tired of waiting. If you're a man, then you should act on what you say. Dumbass. In one quick movement, Tanichibo took something out of his inner pocket. The item, shining in the sunlight despite the pure black threads clinging to it, was an emerald nagatama? If there are that many black threads attached to it, then... Come here, boy! Tanichibo raised his hand, clutching the Magatama high into the air. So it's the Magatama that's got the power, not him. So we gotta get that away from him. When he did, a large mass of black threads exploded outwards. Just like the last time, they gathered into a single cluster and then... Well, that's loud. It became a giant blightfall. It was the same blightfall that we had witnessed before. Huh. That was when I first noticed it. The blightfall was attached to the Emerald Magatama by a single black thread. I couldn't help but fixate on that odd characteristic, which hadn't been present in the blightfall I'd seen at the village. Let me ride you, boy! Let me ride you, boy is kind of like what we say to most of the men in our man harem. Huh. Weird. It's like he just takes what we're thinking. Not to him, but to our other boyfriends. Or to our vessel daddies. Oh, God. I've always got to find a way to make it inappropriate. Come on. Throughout all this, the Blightfall obediently followed its master's orders. Okay, so it's good that it's not that he can control it, it's the Magatama that somehow keeps it tethered. So if you steal the Magatama from him, which we can do because he's all in love with us, so hi. It'll be so easy to stick our hand in his pocket. We'll be like, I just want to put my hands in your pocket to, keep my hands warm. And he'll fall for that because he's a fucking idiot. Using its tentacles, it deftly placed Tanichibo onto its back. After it finished doing so, Tanichibo once again proudly stood up. Alright, let's go, you bastards! Woo! We'll follow you to the end, Lord Kaigo! Kaigyo, sorry, Kaigyo. The Ronin raised their voices and ran, following the Blightfall's lead. Of course, their final destination was Edo. Somebody get on your cell phone and call everybody else. Well, it was worth a shot. Let's follow them. Understood. Right. This is awful. Though I was panicking on the inside, I did my best to follow behind them. The first place we ended up in was Castletown. By the time we got there, the massive Blightfall and Ronin were already lined up, barring the exits of Edo.
It's a monster!
Hurry and run, come on! I've never seen such a huge monster before! It was such a surreal sight that the citizens fell into a state of panic. Also, I've never seen such a huge monster before. You've never seen a monster or just one that's that big? I was going to maybe be like, you haven't seen a monster before, buddy, but at the same time, they do have the Oniwaban here to take care of the Bladefall, so maybe people have seen monsters before here. Just not one this massive. No one could blame them. The Bladefall that Tanichibo summoned was so big it could crush a house with ease. It was impossible to stay calm while seeing such a big monster. We have to stop Tanichibo as soon as possible. Yeah, but it was impossible to convince him. He's not the type of guy you can stop with words, so we should wait and see what happens. You be in the wait and see guy. I'm gonna need you to hike up your tits and go fight. Come on, Jesus.
I also think that's for the best. And it doesn't seem he plans on hurting anyone just yet.
No, I think we kill them all. I think we should just kill them all and be done with it. Like, I mean, it's like, there's a monster. He's not going to hurt anyone. We should just wait and see what he does. So, you want to let him terrorize people. Okay. He's evil and wants to throw over the government. And you're like, that sounds like a bad idea. And yet you're like, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what... And then he all of a sudden gets and overthrows the government. And then you're like, we probably should have acted sooner. I'm just saying, like, what's this wait and see approach? This is not, we're making plans in the woods where you're like, well, okay, maybe they're just assholes sitting in the woods making plans, talking about overthrowing everything. And you're like, okay, they're just all talk. But like now they're kind of doing it now. So like, I feel like now is the time to stop waiting and seeing and start doing, I don't know. Huh? At Tomonari's words, I observed Tanichibo once more. Tanichibo wasn't paying any attention to the panicking citizens and was instead looking around as if he was trying to find something. I mean, unless what they're thinking is like, we're not going to get involved, but the other Oniwaban will show up, get rid of them, and then we'll still be in his good graces just in case. So, I mean, I get that maybe. As Tomonari said, it seemed he had no intention of attacking Ito. At least, to be fair, they didn't have this like, oh, we're there and we have a meeting and then he's all talk. And then we're there and we have a meeting and he's all talk. And then we're there and we have a meeting and he's all talk. And like nothing ever happens. And then finally at the end he does something and you're like, we just spent the whole game with him doing nothing. They're like, we had a meeting. Fuck it, here we go. We're going to go do something. At least he's doing something. You know what I mean? To make it a little more exciting. But it's also like, but if he overthrows everything now and you fight him, then what are you going to do for the rest of the route? You know? But then I was thinking like, well, maybe you'll get rid of him now and the rest of the route will be something else. So this way Tomonari's route has a different plot and purpose than Tojo's route. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Then what is he doing? Intruders! Get them! In time, soldiers dispatched by the city commissioner arrived, along with the volunteer police. As soon as he saw them, Tanichibo stood up, his eyes sparkling. You guys are late. I was waiting forever. What? Just who the hell are you? Why in the world are you doing this? A smirk appeared on Tanichibo's face at the usual line of questioning. Then, as he slowly raised his arm, holding the Magatama up to the air. Who am I? Fine, I'll give you your answer. My name is Kaigyo Tanichibo. I'm the heir of the current shogun, Yoshimune Tokugawa. Tanichibo's words had such power that they managed to stop the city commissioner's men dead in their tracks. Also, you don't know that you're his only son. He might have an older one. So I'm just saying, I'm the heir. I'm his heir. You don't know that you're the only one. I'm just saying, with the amount of women that man took to bed, there's got to be at least a dozen kids out there that can claim to be his kid. And someone's got to be older than you. Even if they understood what he had said, accepting it as fact was a whole different story. Everyone else reacted the same as they all looked up at Tanichibo in shock.
Don't lie! How could someone like you possibly be the Shogun's son? That absolutely cannot be true!
Yeah, give it a rest. Grunts like you are clueless. If you want to know whose son I am and what my demands are, go ask the bigwigs. And tell him this. I don't care what it takes. They better let me see my dad real quick. 7 more days. If I don't receive an answer by then you'll be seeing this guy again.
Okay, so you just came in to make some ruckus and then like, okay. All right. So that's okay. So the wait and see attitude wasn't just like, ah! Okay, he's not doing anything yet.
If a monster like that runs amok here, Ito will...
Who knows? Well, to sum it up, when the time comes, expect hell.
It seemed they could say nothing more. They were fearful of the threat standing before them. Tanichibo stared at the soldiers with a satisfied expression before turning around. I'm so tired today.
Alright, job's done. Hey, losers! We're going home for today. Get in, we're going shopping.
With that, Tanichibo and the others left immediately, raising a dust cloud as they did, all alongside the unprecedentedly massive blightfall. However, there was no way that anyone could return to their usual lives. What was all that? Was that man the Shogun's illegitimate son?
Why did the Shogun let someone like that run wild?
That guy was controlling a monster! Could it be that the Shogunat's connected to it somehow?
The citizens were airing out their distrust towards the Shogunate. Since we knew the truth, we understood that it was all a misunderstanding, but it was no surprise that the uninformed masses felt that way.
This is worse than I thought. If we don't do something fast, it'll come back to bite us later.
Well, you were the wait and see guy 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you let her here too.
At that point, Kuga and Yoichi walked toward us. Yoichi's like, son of a bitch. It seemed that they had been listening to Tanichibo's claims right by our side.
That was the rumored Kaigyo Tanichibo, right? And that guy you're in charge of? He's gone and pulled quite the daring stunt.
I'd heard about it, but I hadn't expected him to be so adept at controlling the Blightfall. Yeah, in any case, let's go back to the base for now. We'll report the details there.
We nodded without hesitation at Tojo's suggestion. And then, at the base, after the Samurai Town and Castletown teams were all gathered, we each shared our information officially.
So, Tanichibo's finally made his move. This isn't good. He seems to be pressuring for a response. But how is the investigation going so far? Have they found anything? The Kanto magistrate hasn't even reached Kishu province. We don't have any results to discuss in the first place.
Did anyone explain that to Tanichibo? Maybe he's stupid and he hasn't taken that into account.
We've explained, but he basically brushed it aside with a who cares.
Ugh, what a pain in the ass. He's got quite the impatient personality.
Judging from his behavior today, convincing him is going to be difficult. If nothing changes, we're going to have to fight him in 7 days. In any case, as long as Tanichibo can control Blightfall, we as the Oniwaban can't let him run free. He's somehow able to bend the Blightfall to his will. Until we figure out how, this case will not be solved.
Hey, hi, sexy. Come here. Come here. Let me whisper in your ear. First of all, I'm going to bite your ear, and then I'm going to lick it. And then I'm going to, like, just want to lick you. And then I'm going to tell you how he does it. All right? But first, just let me lick your goddamn face. I love this goddamn robot bastard. You throw glasses on him, and he's perfect. Even without it, it's just everything. God, I just love him so much. After he concluded with that, Kyoshiro turned to face us.
Kunitaka, we've had you all conduct an undercover investigation these past few days. Have you found any new information? Information? It's a bit of a stretch, but... Tojo thought for a moment before raising his head. When I saw Tenichibo summon the Blightfall from up close, he took out an emerald Magatama from his inner pocket. Why couldn't we have given that information? We're the one that saw it. I guess we all saw it, but you know what I mean? Like, we should have been like, hey, I saw this, so that we could have felt useful. Shut up, Tojo, stealing our thunder. One that was hanging on some string that was threaded through the hole. And that could be the key to how he's summoning the Blightfall.
I agree. If he was going to go through the effort to take it out at that moment, then there should be some reason behind it.
Spacey, what do you think? When Kyoshiro asked that, I lowered my head slightly to gather my thoughts. I think that the Magatama is a tool used to control the Blightfall. There were black threads on the Magatama. I believe the black threads I saw earlier originated from it. And after the Blightfall was summoned, it looked to me that there was a single thread connecting the Magatama to the Blightfall. Almost like it was a rope around someone's neck, taking away its freedom. So, I think there's no doubt that the Magatama is the key. After I voiced my thoughts, I looked for everyone's reactions. The Castletown team widened their eyes in shock, but the Samurai Town team, especially Kyoshiro, only nodded with interest. I don't think that man has ever had his face change expression. Maybe when Mimi was there and he was like, what the fuck? But I'm pretty sure this is the only expression they drew for him. Everybody else has like eyes that he blinks. That's it. That's it. The man does not smirk, grit, nothing. Nothing. This is his pondering face. This is his angry face. This is his overjoyed face. Like, shocked, amused, all of it right here. And I love it. I love it to death. That may be true. I'd like to ask something. Was the last Blightfall the same one that you saw last time? No question about it. The size and the shape and the mask was exactly the same.
Tenichibo called the Blightfall his partner, so it was probably the same one.
Oh, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about the monster. Oh, ouch. Hurt my soul like that. No, I'm just kidding. Thank God. I think it's the same one, too. He's not calling out different Blightfall, but rather the Magatama and the Blightfall are connected. From the way the threads moved, it looked like that big Blightfall was born from the black threads attached to the Magatama. I see. And then we should think of that Blightfall as one that's entered into some sort of pact with Tenichibo, rather than a regular one. And the key to that is the Emerald Magatama. And does the Magatama serve as proof of the pact, or is the Blightfall itself sealed inside of it? It's impossible to tell from our current intel.
I mean, does it really matter which one it is?
That's right. We can investigate further after we've dealt with everything. In other words, if we can snatch the Emerald Magatama away from Tenichibo, that would
solve our problem.
There was no need to wait 7 days. Everyone nodded with determination at the conclusion we'd reached. All right, I'm going to have to act. All interested in getting all up in his shit. But it was easier said than done. The chance never truly presented itself. Snore, snore, snore. Like snore, like I'm totally snoring. I'm like asleep. He finally went to sleep, it seems. Yes, so it seems. I'm really... Okay, well, Tominari would have fucking lost his shit. But I'm sorry, we were like, I mean, I would not be like, we should not sleep with the man for it, but we could be like, oh, can I just cuddle with you? And then he's asleep and we reach in his pocket and steal it. I'm just saying, he'd let his guard down around us because he's like totally in love with us. What was the point of throwing in the whole, he's totally in love with us, if we were going to use that to our advantage aside from just getting into the thing? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It was like, oh my God, you're like... totally the type of girl I'm into. And then we're like, you should let my friend stay. And he's like, okay. And then that was it. And it was never brought up again. I figured they were going to keep rolling with it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, we can be like, you know, oh, I can just like, sure, I'll stay. But like, no, we can't do anything until we're married. And then like, oh no, you can't even kiss me, whatever. He'd take it. You know what I mean? And then, like, he falls asleep, we fish through his pockets and we take it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't need our boy. They could have been standing outside, like, keeping guard in case something happens, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying we could have used, let us do something. But Tominari would have lost his fucking shit if we even suggested it, so fair enough, I guess.
Spacey, where's the Magatama?
Maybe his inner pockets? There's some faint black threads around there. He even keeps it on him when he sleeps. Should I just sneak it off him? Even if he finds out, I could probably come up with some sort of excuse.
No way.
Yeah, see. Huh? But...
No way.
All right. It's more than enough that we figured out where he hides the Megatama. Unfortunately, we still have time, so let's retreat for...
Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing, you bastards? That alcohol is mine, you know?
Snoring. He's just talking in his sleep. That was scary. That was terrifying. Especially because he leapt up in his sleep. If it comes down to this, then we might have no choice but to wait until he takes off his clothes. Spacey, Tanichiba likes you. I want you to use that and create an opening. Can I count on you? See, I mean, I was going to offer to do this, and Tojo... This is where Tominari is like, no, how dare, I am not letting you even remotely do this. And Tojo's like, look, listen, I know we're a thing, because we're not, but we're going to go to his route first. It's going to be like, but I'm going to need you to seduce that man and get him naked so I can, like, steal this thing off of him. Whatever you got to do. I was going to say that we should use our feminine wiles and, like, wait till he's asleep and fish it out of his pocket. You know, we can, like, snuggle with him and, like, oh, do you mind if I just put my hand on your chest? Like, whatever. And then he's asleep and then we fish around in his pockets. He's not going to know. You know what I mean? We don't have to do anything with him, but, like, now Tojo's like, get him naked. What the? That's a little bit further than I was thinking, but, like, Jesus. Oh, no wonder everyone's over your shit. Yes, I'll do my best. She's straight up like, all right. Tanichibo, can I talk to you for a bit? I actually have something I want you to have. That's our acting.
Oh, what's this? A tribute? What did you bring me?
It's a kimono. I noticed you've been wearing the same thing lately, so I prepared something new for you.
Oh, nice. I'm really digging the funky vibe. Thanks.
Are you not gonna wear it?
I was gonna wear it later. Wait, are you asking me to wear it now?
I'm just saying that maybe if you, like, let me watch you get dressed, I might be interested in undressing you later. That could blow up in our face when we don't get the Magatama and then he thinks we're gonna have sex with him later. If you could.
So you want me to take my clothes off right here? You trying to seduce me?
If you say yes, he's gonna whip his clothes off in an instant. I'm not seducing you. Not at all. No way.
What? Man, what a tease.
I mean, the right answer would have been like, maybe. He would have whipped his clothes off and you would have been like, giggle, and then you run away while somebody steals his shit out of the bushes. I'm just saying. Girl. She's halfway there. But you know.
Hey, what's all this? Why are you guys following me all the way to the bathhouse?
I thought you might need some protection when coming to crowded places like this. Sure, you can summon a monster, but you won't be able to do anything if you're caught off guard, right?
Yeah, walking alone's dangerous.
Man, you guys are getting real overprotective. Whatever, dude. I'm going on ahead.
I left.
He should have at least taken off his Magatama before going into the bath. And now then, let's see. How about inside his change of clothes?
It doesn't look like it.
Did you search properly? If it's not here, then where is it?
there's a Magatama on Tanichibo's wrist.
Oh, come on! Why is he even wearing it into a bath?
What should we do? Make a new plan.
Looks like we have no other choice. We'll have to ask for Spacey's help.
What do you mean?
Isn't it obvious? We'll have to ask her to come over here and talk to Tanichibo. And we'll take that opportunity to...
No.
No, but...
Absolutely no way. She could see something nasty, so no.
You mean like him naked? Because, I would agree, that's not going to be pleasant for me. I'm not into him. Something nasty? We can just take care of him before that happens. And I'm sure she'll understand. Spacey, I heard her name just now. Wait, is she here too?
Looks like he heard us. Maybe we should pretend it was an accident and drown him and...
Okay. I really love the dynamic between the two of them, and I absolutely love how vastly different they are love interest-wise, because, like, Tominari's like, no, I won't let her get anywhere near this man. I will not let... No, she might see him naked, and that would just be horrible, but it's also I will not, because he might try to touch her. Nope. I am not letting her pretend to even seduce him. Nope, 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 nope. No. God, no. And Tojo's over there like, Spacey, I'm going to need you to get that man naked so we can get the shit from him. Like, Jojo's like, do what you gotta do, girl. Smacks you on the ass. Get in there and seduce that man. Like, what the fuck? I know Tojo's not, like, in love with us yet, but it's still pretty fucking funny. Like, they're so fucking opposite. It's so good. Simmer down, pal. Let's not say anything too rash. Besides, it's not like he's discovered our plan. But in any case, what kind of hearing does this guy have? Spacey, where are you? It's me, Kaguya Tanichibo. Come watch your future husband's back. This fucker is so funny. Ah, pervert! Don't come here, idiot! Ugh. Oh, because he walked to the women's side of the bath?
See? We're right. We were right not to call Spacey.
We were right not to call in Spacey, sorry. It's hard to tell whether he's just an idiot or not. He's a jackass. He's a funny idiot. Though we repeated our attempts, we were still unable to retrieve the Emerald Magatama. There's just one more day until the deadline. Sooner or later, we're gonna have to succeed.
Today's the final party, right? It'll be difficult if we miss this chance. We might have no other option but to attack him in his sleep.
Tominari's like, we could just drown him. And I'm like, I could just seduce him. Attack him in his sleep? And then what?
Assassination, of course.
Tominari's like, I'll kill him and then we can take the bracelet. And Tojo's like, let's just have Spacey get him naked. Like, oh, God. What? Calm down. We won't go that far. If it turns out he really is Lord Yoshimune's illegitimate son, there'd be no coming back from that mistake. That's right. Phew, this case is getting serious. But I don't think Tanichibo's a bad person at heart, so it seems a little much to kill him. Maybe just punch him in the nuts. And I don't want the two of them to do something like that. But to be honest, he's doing something pretty villainous. If his pedigree wasn't in question, he would have been done for.
A single misstep in this case could cause an upheaval in the shogunate, too.
That's right. So we can't slack off here. In order to stop Tanichibo, I need to work even harder than before. Stealing our will, we entered the meeting place. Oh, you're here! We prepared lots of alcohol for today. Come over and sit already. As usual, the Ronin greeted us with bottles in hand. Everyone was already drunk, and their faces were bright red. You get Tanichibo a little drunk. You pretend you're drunk. You know, you kind of like to get some of his clothes up, to especially the one where the Magatama, you slip it into your pocket, whatever, you're fooling around. The boys drag you away. Oh my God, no, not inappropriate. Wait till you're married, and then, come on. Even we might get caught with it, but
Tomorrow's the day of reckoning! We're finally gonna be the servants of a daimyo! But hey, we haven't got an answer from the shogunate, right? Feels a little early to celebrate. That don't mean nothing. If push comes to shove, we'll do whatever we want by force.
That's a cunty way to think, but valid. That's what a lot of cunty people think.
With that gigantic monster by our side, the city commissioner will be running home to their mama. Yeah.
But in contrast to the excited Ronin, Tanichibo seemed to be in a bad mood. Like usual, he was slowly sipping his alcohol in the corner of the meeting place today. Of course, the Ronin wouldn't leave him alone.
What's the matter, Lord Kaigyo? Our victory's been nearly decided. Let's enjoy ourselves more. Yeah, exactly. Ain't today supposed to be a Shut up. I'm not in the mood for that right now. Get out of here.
But Tanichibo threw his bottle of alcohol at the Ronin and chased them away immediately. Overwhelmed by his threatening attitude, no one seemed able to go near him.
Oh, scary. Sure is in a bad mood. Wasn't he like that all day today? But things are going so smoothly. What's got Lord Kaigyo in such a tiff? Little miss, why not go pour him some alcohol? We'd try, but you saw how he treated us.
Yes, I understand. For the sake of the mission, it'd be beneficial to be on good terms with Tanichibo. With that in mind, I started to walk when Tojo whispered into my ear.
Spacey, this is our chance.
Huh? What do you mean?
Right now, Tanichibo's drunk and doesn't have proper judgment. If you can get close enough to pour him his drink, then it's ours for the taking. And this is our chance to get the Magatama.
Oh, I see. You're right.
Well, you think you can do it?
That's...
Spacey, what's wrong?
No, it's nothing. I'll do my best to be useful.
All right, good answer. And then let's go and...
Sorry. Can I go outside and get some fresh air first? It's just, I'm a little dizzy from the smell of alcohol.
I don't mind, but are you sure you want to go alone? I could go with you too if you'd like.
No, it's just over there, so it's fine. Anyway, I'll get going. I moved to a place a slight distance away, and after some time, it's weird because we're outside in the woods, so we gotta go outside of the outside. I crouched down and gazed at the ground. I know it's like I gotta walk away from all the alcohol, but like still it was weird. I gotta go outside. Truthfully, I wasn't leaving the party hall because I'd gotten dizzy from the smell of alcohol. Also, that wasn't a party hall. That was like a plot in the woods. So like, I just wanted to be alone. What should I do? I'm so nervous. If I fail here, then Tanichibo will invade Ito tomorrow, right? If that happens, lots of people might get hurt or even die. Everyone and everything is counting on me. Over and over, I took deep breaths, all while contemplating the situation. Quite some time had passed since I had become alone, but the fluttering in my chest didn't seem like it would disappear. I can't just stay here forever. Once the sound of my heart calms down, once it returns to normal, I'll go back to everyone.
Spacey, there you are.
At that point, I heard a familiar voice from behind me. When I turned around, Tominari was in the middle of walking toward me from the shadow of a bush. It seemed that he'd gone out of his way to come and find me.
You weren't coming back, so I was wondering what was wrong. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, let's go back. I gave a hurried answer and immediately stood up. To tell the truth, I hadn't finished preparing myself mentally. However, I knew all too well that our time was limited. I haven't sorted through my thoughts yet, but it'll have to wait. I'll just have to play it by ear and do my best. I swallowed, anxiety and all, and started to walk at a fast pace. To start, Tanichibo seems drunk, so I just have to be careful not to make his mood worse. Then all I have to do is move carefully so he doesn't catch wind of what I'm up to. And then...
Spacey, are you alright?
When I passed by Tominari's side, he grabbed my hand. The strength of his grip stopped me dead in my tracks. Huh?
Your hand, it's shaking.
When he pointed it out, I noticed for the first time that my hand was shaking slightly. I immediately tried to stop it with my other hand, but it was completely useless. It seemed that the nerves weren't just in my head, and they were appearing physically as well. I can read. This is, um,
So you really are nervous, aren't
don't worry about it. It happens a lot.
really?
Really, that's just the way my body is. I couldn't think of a good excuse, so I tried to cover it up with whatever came to mind. I thought that I'd be able to manage it by saying that, but
Is that so?
to my surprise, instead of letting go, Tominari wrapped his hands around mine. Taken off guard by the action, my body tensed up even more. What?
Yeah, you really seem to be acting strange. I can tell you're clearly shivering.
It's cold out here. It's 82 degrees. Then Tominari gently and kindly rubbed my hands as if trying to warm them. Huh? Oddly enough, at that moment, I felt a strange sense of security. Normally, you'd be cautious if a man held your hand in this way. But for some reason, Tominari was an exception. In fact, I felt myself becoming calmer and calmer. Aw, look at our little CG of him holding our hands. It's so precious.
If there's something you're worried about, tell me. That's why I came here.
And then Tominari looked at my face, gauging my mood. As soon as I saw his serene expression and eyes, the wariness in my heart completely vanished. If it was Tominari, I might be able to say how I really felt. It wasn't hard to think that way. Uh, um, to tell the truth, I'm a little scared.
Scared? Of what?
Lots of things. If I fail today, then Ida will be in deep trouble, right? When I think about that, I get so nervous.
I figured. That's because you're a kind person.
No, I'm not kind. It's just that I feel like I'm getting crushed by all this responsibility. Dude, do I feel that on a daily basis.
Well, we wouldn't even think that if it was up to us. Even if we failed, we'd just think of what to do next.
Even if it means someone's hurt because of you?
Yeah, nothing's gonna change if you keep regretting something that's already happened, right?
So, you're only doing this for me because this is the most efficient? Because if I succeed in this mission, the case will be solved smoothly? I knew that I was asking a mean question. But even so, in that moment, I couldn't help but ask. What he'd said had reminded me that I was talking to someone whose heart was sealed, and I couldn't even see the threads on his neck. But Tominari, perhaps taken off guard by my question, blinked in surprise. I mean, it's fair of her to ask that question, but like we also know it's like, no, that's not why he's saying that, because like their hearts might be sealed, but that doesn't mean that they have no emotions or capability of feeling anything, you know? He looked so defenseless that I was reminded of an innocent child. What's wrong, Tominari?
Well, I just never thought about why I'm here right now doing this.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, I just thought that you seemed off, so I wanted to help you feel better. I'm sorry. It's not really convincing coming from someone like me.
After saying that, Tominari tilted his head in a somewhat dejected way. As soon as I saw that, the uncomfortable feeling that had been spreading in my heart completely vanished. Right. It doesn't matter what he's really thinking. It doesn't change the fact that Tominari's trying to support me right now. What I should look at isn't his heart, it's his actions. No, I believe you. I believe you, Tominari.
Spacey.
When I had muttered the words as if trying to convince myself, Tominari narrowed his eyes happily. My hand that had been shaking earlier was now completely still. Thank you. My hand is fine now.
Oh, okay.
And then Tominari let go of my hand as an act of consideration.
He seemed reluctant to let go, and his hands were gentle until the very end. Can I ask a question?
What is it?
Why do you care so much about me?
Didn't I answer that before?
I just want to...
I just want to. So I do. I think I want to spend time with you because I don't quite understand the reason why.
That's all. He's like, I just do. I don't know why. So I do. I want to spend time with you more because I don't know why I do. I mean, valid. I know, but I wanted to ask you again. You haven't found the answer yet? Tominari, consciously or not, wanted to cheer me up. His actions were the reason why I started thinking about how I interacted with vessels, but they also raised new questions. I knew I shouldn't rush him. But still, I wanted to know the answer. And Tominari's answer was,
I'm not sure, but I think you're special.
To his uncertain reply, I answered, why am I special? Cool beans. Okay, so I feel like because we're trying not to romance him, why am I special as him? Like, but why? Because then you're getting more into his head, you're engaging with him more, and thanks. It's like, okay, cool. That's when someone's like, I love you, you're like, thanks. You know what I mean? It's not rude to be like, oh, thank you, but it's more like I'm going to stop this conversation here because my boyfriend's not here. You know what I mean? Whereas why am I special is let me engage with you more and converse with you more and like get more into your thought process because I'm interested in you type of a thing. You know what I mean? It's more personal than thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Tominari. To Tominari, I was special. That alone gave me a certain feeling of security. Now that I think about it, I've been saved by your kindness ever since we met. When I think about it that way, you might be special to me too. But I'm gonna go marry Tojo now.
Huh. I'm special?
And then Tominari's eyes widened in slight surprise. It was as if he never expected to be told that. Sorry, did I upset you?
No, that's not it. That's just that... It's weird. I felt something strange. Like a warmth deep in my chest. Am I sick?
So cute. Because that's like a feeling in your heart that you're not used to having. You're like, am I dying? No, but yes.
That's weird.
Oh, I already read that, sorry. I thought I clicked it, but sometimes because the voices keep going, you click it, you have to click it again. Huh?
Maybe not. This isn't a bad feeling. It's actually...
But when he was about to say that much, Tominari closed his mouth.
I've said something weird. I'm sorry. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. Was that Tominari's sealed heart reacting just now? And again, you're having these emotions, like, with Tojo, like, he's not really he's getting, like, you're getting friendly, and you're having that little, like, yeah, I don't know if I'd mind if it was you, like, the whole fiancé thing, like, whatever, it's just a passing conversation, but Tominari is, like, 10 times more romantic. And we're gonna friend zone him fucking hard in a minute. So, like, I'm happy I'm able to become closer to Tominari, but I should be more careful. Vessels who regain their memories or heart will be eliminated. With that in mind, I stopped talking. We are a little bit under time, not too much, but I'm going to stop here because we went a little over last time, and this is a good place. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up. Oh, now you're talking? Okay, sure, whatever. And subscribe to see more.